Bulls Nation. As of a few days ago, ESPN has released their top 100 best players in the NBA list. And we have a lot to talk about in relation to the Chicago Bulls, as 4 of our players have entered that list and are in the top 100. And today I'm going to be discussing whether or not it's going to be, I guess, a good ranking, a bad ranking, and all of the sorts. But of course, being recognized as a top 100 player, being recognized by a lot of fans, a lot of, I guess, analysts, that 4 Bulls players are in the top 100 is pretty interesting to see. Not many teams have, I guess, a starting 4 players within that top 100. So without further ado, let's discuss the Chicago Bulls and their ranking for each and every player in this video. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a Chicago Bulls related video referring to the ESPN top 100 list. Of course, it has become, I guess, official now by the ESPN released that top 100 list. It's always something that people like to look forward to. At the end of the day, what I said about when they released that we're going to finish 9th in the Eastern Conference to this list now of top 100, I still have the same opinion of this doesn't necessarily matter, because a lot of the things that they say are, I guess, educated guesses. It's not necessarily something that I read too much into and read it as gospel. But we're going to have to wait and see what happens with that, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to The Bull Show. Turn notifications on and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and just exactly where a lot of these players are and if they should be higher or lower. Now, it's important to note that when you look at things like this, you need to look at it with a clear head. Obviously, as a Bulls fan, there are elements of bias in what a lot of people have to say. And of course, people should be higher. Some people might be lower. The reality is with the Chicago Bulls, we have 4 players to discuss today. 4 really important, talented players that are in our starting lineup and they're going to be really great players coming into this team. And it's important to note that what I say is an opinion, and of course it could be an element of bias in there. Maybe there isn't bias in there. It's up to you guys to determine that, but we'll see what happens when it comes to the list and where we actually see ourselves. I don't know the exact rankings of the list. I know we have 4 players in here, so we're going to be looking through it together, ladies and gentlemen, pretty much. I'm already at the first one, and that is number 57. Lonzo Ball is ranked number 57 on the ESPN top 100 list. Now, Lonzo Ball is a player that will be an absolute game changer for the Chicago Bulls, and the reality is, being the 3rd option on his team with the New Orleans Pelicans behind Brandon Ingram and Zion, doesn't do him any favors. But the reality is, with the Chicago Bulls, he's going to be able to play and adapt to his game a lot more than what you would see on the Pelicans. And unfortunately, ESPN can't predict things like that, so they have to go based on what they saw. And with this issue, or I guess with this number, I don't necessarily have a problem with Lonzo Ball being where he is. I project him to be better next year. I project, as I said before, he always improves his season every year. Every single year, he gets better and better and better. So the reality is, hopefully, that can show on the list going forward next year and the year after that and the year after that. He's going to keep getting better and better and better. So number 57 is something that I'm not necessarily too upset about. I don't like the fact that he went down, because he was ranked 54 last year. I don't like that situation, but at the end of the day, I think we're going to see a completely different Lonzo Ball on this team than what you saw on the Pelicans, and hopefully it's a better Lonzo Ball, and that's what I'm banking on. But I don't necessarily have a big issue in relation to Lonzo Ball on this list. I think he can be higher. The reality is there are a few players you can look and you can scroll down, you can see these things that maybe Lonzo Ball deserves to be a little bit higher, but I think where he is probably where he should be at the moment. And once he goes on this team and he proves himself to the world once again and we start winning more games, this all comes down to winning games as well, ladies and gentlemen. But once you start to win more games, you're going to get the respect around the league. It's as simple as that. And we'll see what happens this season. And hopefully those doubters of Lonzo and the rest of the team can be proven wrong. The next one, number 45, DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan at 45, that's an interesting take, to be honest. And I'm just going to look at the players ahead of him at the moment. Miles Turner, that's a bit questionable. Kyle Lowry, there are situations there where, again, you could potentially put DeMar DeRozan higher. But once again, it's all about winning games. I think DeMar DeRozan has one of his better seasons in the NBA last year, but his Spurs team didn't exactly do very well, which is kind of stunning considering that Kyle Lowry's here and he was basically injured for most of that season for the Toronto Raptors. So, yeah, I'm not too sure about this one. I think 45... where was he last year? He was ranked 82 last year. Oh, wow. I mean, he got a dramatic leap to number 45, but I don't know who thought it was good to put him at 82. A little bit of controversy there, I would say, from ESPN. I don't think that's something to take too much into. There's no way in the world that DeMar DeRozan is the 82nd best player on a team. Or in the NBA. That's ridiculous. 45 it seems pretty positive considering where he was last year. But again, when I look at players like, again, Kyle Lowry, who he did get injured a lot. I don't really know what this is going based off. If this is meant to be the 2021 best players, I think maybe we can have a discussion on that. But 82 last year, I don't know what people were thinking there. Pretty stupid take in my opinion. And we're going to move on, ladies and gentlemen. The next one is going to be number 39, Nikola Vucevic. Again, we talked about DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, how they could potentially be ranked a little bit higher than what they probably should be. And the fact that DeMar DeRozan at 82 is ridiculous. Nikola Vucevic was ranked 42 in the 2020 NBA rank, and now he is ranked 39. So he's gotten a little bit better from last season to this year, and he's expected to be better this year, which, again, I don't have too much to complain about, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of this one either. There are probably situations where you could say, yeah, maybe it is a little bit of a bias, but maybe Nikola Vucevic should be a little bit higher as well. But at the end of the day, it does depend on winning. A lot of this does depend on winning, and the ranking depends on winning. And at the end of the day, Nikola Vucevic has been a question of winning his entire career, and that's just how it's always been. His plus minus has never been too strong, and he's always, when he's made the playoffs, he's never really made beyond the 8th seed or higher than that. So I don't have too much to say in this retrospect either, but yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. And the last one, ladies and gentlemen, let's see where he is. We all know who it is. It's going to be Zach LaVine, and there he is, ranked 33. Now, last year he was ranked 56 in the NBA, and now he's gone up dramatically. But something that, I guess, it's a bit of an interesting one. Right underneath him is Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson has been injured for 2 years. I don't understand the rankings of this. I'm not really sure what this has to do with anything, I guess. Like the fact that Klay Thompson is 32, while Zach LaVine, who had his best year, 28 points, 5 assists, played better defense overall. Look, I'm not saying he's better than Klay Thompson, even though I kind of am saying he's better than Klay Thompson. But the reality is, how could Klay Thompson get raised up so high when he's been out for 2 years? That's the thing. Like, if Klay Thompson comes back and has a terrific year, then yes, he deserves to be where he is. He deserves to be 32nd and all of these things. And I don't understand how Ja Morant's better than Zach LaVine either. Like CJ McCollum, I just don't understand those situations. But I guess it comes down to winning, as I said before. It's not always about the statistical side of the game. It's about, can he help the team win? And once again, Zach LaVine rose up from 56 to 33. So my expectation for next year is he's going to take another massive leap and to prove that he is one of the better players in the NBA. I disagree with this one, to be honest. I disagree with the fact that he was put below, or I guess above, Klay Thompson at 32, the 32nd best player in the NBA, who's been out for 2 years. Ja Morant, who, as good as Ja Morant is, and trust me, Ja Morant's a really good player, I think Zach LaVine is a better player than Ja Morant. CJ McCollum, yeah, even the likes of Ben Simmons as well. I don't know. It's kind of difficult for me to say all these things, and again, it's up to opinion. It's up to, again, this is ESPN's opinion, and yeah, I just don't know what to say. The reality is, don't take this to heart. That's what I'm going to say the message to. We have 4 players in the top 100 right now. Lonzo Ball, Nikola Vucevic, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. These are the players that are going to be playing together. We're going to have 4 players within that top 100 list. And again, it just goes to show the good business that we've made. And it's great to see that the Chicago Bulls are part of that. The Chicago Bulls have made a good splash in terms of this. Because I remember a few years ago, very little of our players were in the top 100, probably except for Zach LaVine. No one else was in there. So the fact that we are now going from a situation where we have 4 players in the top 100, back then we only had 1. It's a good step in the right direction, if I do say so myself. And arguably, some of those players deserve to be a little bit better than what they are. They deserve to be ranked or put respect on a little bit better. But again, it's up to this team to prove people wrong. I've been saying it all the time. This is great to talk about and discuss, but it's not the end-all be-all. It doesn't necessarily matter what ESPN have to say, as long as the Chicago Bulls are focused on their own season ahead and forget about everything else. Forget the fact that Klay Thompson, who's been gone for 2 years, is technically better than Zach LaVine according to ESPN, or any of these situations. It is something that, again, we can discuss. The preseason's coming. We don't have too much to talk about, and they've released this list. But the reality is, this is not the end-all be-all. So don't take it too seriously, ladies and gentlemen. But with that being said, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and the top rankings of, I guess, ESPN, what they have to say. There are different ones out there. I think Sports Illustrated made one, Bleacher Report made one. But again, mentioning ESPN before, I figured we should mention ESPN again. Why not? They seem to be the most popular one of the rest. So we'll wait and see how this goes. And maybe in 2022, we can look back on this list. We can see some of our players get ranked a little bit higher, a little bit more respect on their name. And we can just see how good of a team we can be. Hopefully 2022 will have that in store for the Chicago Bulls. With that being said, have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.